Hi, I'm Ed from More Music in Evansville, Indiana, and in addition to a lot of the new guitars, obviously, that we sell, we do a brisk trade in used instruments. They come in all the time, and now really from all over the country. And we don't run a consignment shop. If we like it, we buy it. We put our money into it. So to give you an idea of what you should be looking for in a used guitar, if you're going to put some money into a used instrument. So a couple things. Here's this older Alvarez Yari that we got in, okay? And with acoustic guitars, for the uninitiated that don't understand the forces at play, how many pounds of tension are exerted by steel strings when tuned up to pitch, I do point out that, hey, this is what I look at. I tell this to my people who are trying to sell me guitars, and I'm sharing it with you. Belly bulge first, all right? The soundboard is a very thin piece of wood, and over time, it can lift up like so. That's from the tension of the strings. From a lack of humidity, which is often a mystery to many, many people, the whole top can sink in. This is going to affect the action of the guitar. The strings are going to become high off the fretboard, and it's a real problem. It could eventually lead to a crack. It's nothing that you want in a guitar. It's nothing that I want in a guitar. So that's one of the main things that I look at first, because that's going to determine the playability and the life of the instrument. So the second thing that I look for is actually right here where the neck joins the body. If there's an obvious separation, we don't want that, right? That's no good, all right? Also, I look for discoloration in the finish, which can sometimes indicate that if there's not an obvious crack, you can see where there has been some movement in the wood, but not in the finish. So, you know, speaking of separation also, you'll find that the actual bridge of the guitar is separating from the body. And, you know, it's pretty easy to just see if you can slide a piece of paper underneath that, that's no good. You want it to be, in firm contact. So those are some of the basic things. Belly bulge, top sinking in from lack of humidity, bridge separation or lifting, actual separation or movement in the neck joint. Those are the things that really I look for, and you should look for too. When you get a used guitar from More Music, it's inspected by us. And, we take into account, there should be signs of wear if it was a well cared for but played guitar. The cool signs of wear. You got some, finish wear here, or this is an odd one too. Like, I don't know what these two. It looks like someone tried to put a Bigsby on this thing. No, not really. But an older guitar is going to show some drop scars and some incidents that happened with who knows what. The nut is a part that wears, all right? It's often replaced, but very often you can have the original nut on this instrument, on an older guitar like this, and this one I think is definitely original. And you can tell basically with discoloration, or if the finish is actually intact, where in this case the binding and the nut meet, there's still finish there. And like I said, this is the things that I look for, and the guys and I look for here at More Music when we're going to buy a guitar from somebody. And it's also something that you ought to look for if you're going to invest in a used guitar. I think there'd be a lot more guitar players in the world if people knew what to look for, because so many of these instruments suffer from what I call benign neglect. It's just not played, it's sitting in the corner, or if it's in someone's attic or someplace, and all of a sudden the strings are a quarter inch off the fretboard. And we're talking about an instrument whose tolerances are measured in 1/100 of an inch. So I really do feel like there would be more guitar players out there if they actually tried an instrument that was playable, instead of feeling that, oh, I gave it a shot and I sucked, and it really wasn't their fault. So it's a real shame. So hopefully this message just gives you some food for thought, some tools, some things to look for, so that if you do invest in a used guitar, you get one that you can really enjoy and give this thing a second life.
Hey, I'm Brett from More Music Guitars.
And I'm Ed from the same place.
You should subscribe to this YouTube channel because it's basically awesome.
Informative, fun, educational, fun for the whole family.
Most videos are for the whole family, but just give it a shot. What can you lose?
Yeah.